Welcome back to Couch Tales. I'm your host, Anna Lea. When love starts to feel more like parenting, what's going on? Just a disclaimer, this is for fun. Please don't take it as expert advice. Have you ever been in a relationship where, at first, everything seems amazing, but after a while, you start to notice some weird patterns? Maybe the person you're with starts to act more like a child than an equal partner. I'm talking about constant attention seeking, expecting constant reassurance, and worst of all, behaving like you're their mom rather than their partner. That's exactly what happened to my friend, Jenny. She told me she was dating a guy named Bob, and at first it seemed like he could be her forever person. But after about 3 months, something changed. Jenny lost her physical attraction for him, and it wasn't just the usual "he's not my type anymore" type of deal. No, this was something deeper. She started noticing that Bob's behavior was making her feel more like his mother than his girlfriend. Here's a list of things that Jenny noticed about Bob that made her feel more like his caretaker than his partner. Number 1, constant attention seeking. Bob was always looking for reassurance, approval, and validation from Jenny. Number 2, difficulty with self-sufficiency. Instead of handling his own things like cooking or cleaning, Bob would often rely on Jenny for basic needs. It was as if he couldn't function without her stepping in to take care of things. Number 3, tantrums and sulking. If Jenny wasn't available to talk or hang out, he'd act like the world was ending. Number 4, sharing every detail of his life. Bob expected Jenny to always be available to listen to every single detail of his life, no matter what was going on. He expected her to be there emotionally for him. Number 5, lack of emotional reciprocity. One of the biggest red flags for Jenny was that Bob didn't offer the same level of emotional support in return. It felt one-sided. She was always there for him, but when it came to her needs, he wasn't as supportive. Number 6, confidant and therapist, not partner. Bob seemed to view Jenny as a therapist or a confidant rather than an equal partner in a relationship. He relied on her to solve his problems while not being there for her in the same way. Number 7, disrespecting boundaries. Bob ignored Jenny's request for personal space or alone time. He also pressured her for intimacy or commitment before she was ready, completely disregarding her feelings. As you can imagine, after a while, this started to wear on Jenny. The relationship began to feel more like a job than a partnership. She was left feeling drained, and that attraction she once had for him started to fade. So what's going on here? Why would a grown man behave like this in a romantic relationship? According to a famous psychologist known for his work on the unconscious mind, behaviors like Bob's might be explained by his early experiences in attachment style. Some believe that this is rooted in the idea that our childhood experiences shape our adult relationships. In simple terms, the Oedipus complex suggests that children have unconscious desires for their opposite sex parent and feel rivalry or competition with the same-sex parent. This is often said to influence how we interact with our partners later in life. Now, applying this theory to Bob's behavior, we might suggest that Bob has a mommy complex. This doesn't mean that he literally wants to marry his mother, thankfully, but it means that he may unconsciously seek out a partner who fills the emotional and caretaking role of his mother. So what's the takeaway? In Jenny's situation, Bob's behavior could be a sign of deeper emotional needs that weren't met. So if you find yourself in a relationship where one person seems to act like a child instead of a partner, it's important to recognize these patterns early and address them. Whether through open communication or seeking professional help, relationships are meant to be equal, supportive, and fulfilling for all parties involved. All right, that's it for today's episode of Couch Tales, Why We Do What We Do. I'm your host, Anna Lea. If you liked this episode, please subscribe, share, and send to a friend. Until next time, stay curious and stay kind.